If Noctua ever made a laptop cooler, this is probably what it would look like. See, over the past year and a half, I've been on the quest to find the absolute best laptop cooler on the market, and I've found a few for sure, including the IETS GT600 and the Llano laptop cooler, which are great, but I was just curious if maybe I could create something better by myself. Well, that's exactly what I set out to do by creating this cooler here. Basically, by carrying over some of my favorite concepts from these coolers and combining them with some of the best available hardware to go ahead and DIY a good laptop cooler. So looking at the top performing coolers on the market, I knew we needed a few things. High powered fans that also can produce a lot of static pressure to basically force as much air through the actual laptop as possible. And we need to incorporate foam. See, the best coolers, including the IETS and Llano, achieve their far superior performance by basically using brute force. What allows this to happen is actually the foam barrier that forces all the air through the system and doesn't allow it to escape. So to put this cooler together, I started by looking all over the internet for any kind of possible laptop stands that I could use as a base. Because I basically wanted to apply a lot of these concepts, but I know I needed basically some platform to work off of. So I ended up finding a stand from a company called SoupTech. And basically, the reason I chose it was cheap at only $13 and it was relatively open, meaning it would be easy to mount fans without having any kind of issues with air penetration. Speaking of fans, I chose to use 3 of the best performing fans that money can buy. The Noctua Industrial PPC NF-F12s, which are 3,120mm fans. To mount the 3 fans, it was actually pretty easy. I basically just started by lining each of the fans up and drilling pilot holes to make sure I knew exactly where the mounting points would go, followed by widening them just enough to fit a fan screw. This then allowed me to go ahead and mount the 3 fans underneath, which could be basically drawing air from below and pushing it through the ventilation holes from above. Now where this build started to get a little tricky is that the original legs for the stand weren't all that great. They're basically a tubular fixed design which had some included mounting hardware that really wasn't going to work with how we installed the fans. So I knew we needed to actually make 2 decisions here. First, we needed to find a way to actually raise up the legs where they would sit to make sure it would work with the fans. And I also wanted to switch out these legs. Luckily for me, I actually had another laptop stand that I had bought previously. It's an Amazon Basics version, and I took those legs and mounted them basically to the extensions I added. After a little bit of cable management and plugging in our 12 volt to 4 fan pin adapters, we're able to actually power up these fans. Now we just need to add some foam. And I was thinking of making my own out of memory foam, which would work, but I already had some pre-cut pieces laying around from some other coolers. So I slapped one of those on top, and this cooler is pretty much ready to go. I absolutely love how this cooler pretty much turned out. It's really smooth, and it actually looks pretty decent for something that's DIY. Now, let's go ahead and talk some performance. First off, like always, I used the exact same Asus GL552 that I've basically been using for all my testing because it's been overheating on me since day one. So starting off with our idle testing, the Noctua custom cooler performed basically better than 90% of all the coolers out there, idling at only 30 degrees Celsius for the CPU and 29.3 degrees on the GPU. This places it just right behind the IETS GT500 V2, GT600, and Llano laptop cooler, which is quite impressive company to be in because these are some of the best coolers on the market. And if you actually consider the gap between these coolers and the rest of them, this is even more impressive. Now let's move on to some stress tests. First up, let's look at AIDA64's system stability test, where under a full load, the CPU maxed out at only 88 degrees Celsius before settling at 76 degrees. This places it again above the rest of the pack, just short of the IETS models and the Llano laptop cooler, which I think is really just a result about the amount of air that's being moved compared to a lot of the basic laptop cooling pads. Next up, we have our GPU test, where we can go ahead and run firmark for about 10 minutes, stressing our GPU as much as possible. And this time, the Noctua cooler was able to maintain a pretty stable 73 degrees Celsius. Now, how do these thermals actually translate into real-world performance? Because in theory, better thermals should mean that laptops should be able to hold their boost clocks for much longer, thus resulting in more performance. So I went up and fired up 2 synthetic benchmarks. First up, we have PC Mark 10, where our DIY solution ended up scoring a 3,413, which was better than even the Llano laptop cooler and both IETS models, just meaning that this solution was able to maintain a stable temperature for much longer, which is actually really cool to see. And a similar result was also shown with Passmark's Performance Test 11, which showed that this cooler scored a 2438.5, which is also within the range of the top rated coolers that I've ever tested. So the performance was quite impressive, but one thing that Noctua has always been known for is noise. Basically, they've always had some of the quietest fans for the class that they're competing in. And this is no different with their industrial fans, but they are still quite loud. This resulted in running all three of these fans at full blast at 68 decibels, which is going to be very noticeable without a good pair of closed back headphones. But I will say the sound profile at least is much better than a lot of the other coolers I've tested, making it feel a lot quieter, but go ahead and take a listen for yourself. With all this said, I think the cooler actually performed quite well, and I was pretty impressed for basically throwing together something that was just built from some off-the-shelf hardware that anyone could basically buy and assemble themselves. The only thing I think that the cooler fell short of was not being able to prevent some of the air leakage like some of the other coolers. This has to do with the additional ventilation holes that I didn't really cover up. And I think this was allowing some of the air to basically escape, allowing for some air to basically that instead of penetrating through the laptop was escaping out the bottom, which could be kind of a weakness of this cooler compared to something like the Llano or IETS, where basically those don't have anywhere for the air to escape except for through the system. So next time if I build another one, I definitely want to figure out a way to go ahead and prevent this from happening. Now, should you actually DIY a laptop cooler like this? I probably wouldn't recommend it unless you either have the hardware lying around or just want to do it for fun. Because when you add up all the costs, including buying 3 of these Noctua fans that cost almost $30 a piece, plus a fan controller and the stand, you're well over the price of pretty much any cooler I've ever tested, while not performing as good as some of the others like the Llano laptop cooler or IETS GT600 or GT500 models, which personally still get my recommendation for anybody looking for one of the absolute best cooling laptop pads on the market. And the same goes for the low end. I still have a huge recommendation go out for anybody looking for a basic cooler to look at the Kaiben or Lines 2-fan cooler, because they are basically the best budget coolers at only around $12 to $13. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of creating this DIY Noctua laptop cooling pad. And if you guys have any suggestions on how I could improve the design, or if there are any coolers you want me to take a look at, let me know in the comments below. And in the meantime, go ahead and take a look at this video here of our latest review and breakdown of the IETS GT600, which was just released and is one of my favorite coolers to ever be created. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.